Hey 4K family, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris, this is 4K Motoring. Today we have a problem. The problem is that my 2001 Corvette you've seen on the channel has started making a pretty terrible grinding noise with the clutch activation. Which tells me the pilot bushing, throwout bearing is done, basically. I don't know what you guys know about these Corvettes, but to change the clutch and change those parts is quite the ordeal. To get the clutch out of this car and to get to the slave cylinder and throwout bearing, all of that, the entire rear end of the car, the entire subframe holds the back axle in, differential, rear transaxle, that has to be dropped from the car. That has to be dropped back far enough so that the torque tube, the whole center section of the car, runs all the way down the center underneath. That has to be disconnected so that can be pulled back so you can actually access the clutch. Quick YouTube search, you can find a bunch of videos on this. You can see the amount of work involved in taking this apart. So it is not going to be an easy task as a typical clutch replacement would be on a rear-wheel drive vehicle. That brings us into a choice we have to make here. I've got to see how much time I actually have, how many tools I have versus what's required for this job, and really what it's worth to me. To see if it may actually be worth this time paying somebody for the labor as opposed to doing it myself. I don't really have garage space at the moment, so it would be sitting likely on my driveway for some time, non-functional, so that may be something we're going to consider here. I'll do a little bit of research and get back with you guys to see what it's actually worth. Okay, welcome back. We've done a little bit of research here the last couple hours. I've contacted a couple shops in the area here in Raleigh, North Carolina, including kind of the go-to recommended shop, Mayhem Motorsport, here in Raleigh. They seem to be the kind of go-to Corvette people as far as upgrades and maintenance. I've contacted them, and it seems like the labor is going to be right around $1,000. I'll be honest with you, that really does not seem outrageous to me given the amount of effort required to do this, especially for somebody that's unexperienced versus people that do it all the time, I imagine. So that is a very tempting offer. I have looked at their price quotes as well. What they've set me up with is recommending an LS7 clutch, which is the clutch that came in the OEM C6 Z06, so 6th generation higher performance version. That apparently is a direct fit to the C5 Corvette. As you guys may or may not know, C5 and C6 are very similar in most ways, only you know, some cosmetic and minor changes, more of an upgrade than it is a complete new car. So we've looked into that. The prices they quoted me were a little over $800 for the complete kit. I did some research on my own and found similar kits available, complete LS7 clutch kits to include the throwout bearing, the slave cylinder, pilot bushing, plastic guide tool, the new pressure plate, and new clutch and new flywheel, OEM steel flywheel, for a little over $400. So that's about half the price that they quoted me for that. So all told, I should be into that if I have somebody else do it for $1,500 or less. And that sounds very tempting. I know I could save roughly $1,000 by doing it myself, but again, at a certain point, time is money, and loss of use is a concern. You know, if it's down for a while trying to do it myself versus having somebody that can do it in a day and a half. So that is something that I'm very much considering and a route I may be going. So let me know what you guys think. Is $1,000 worth saving a ton of time and effort and headache on my own? I'm sure it would take me, at least with my schedule, at least a week to get this done, provided I have no additional problems, which a 20-year-old car, you never know. So do you guys think it's worth, is that a fair price? You think it's worth spending that much money to have somebody else do it and have it done in a day and a half and be back on the road? Or should I try and save $1,000 and tackle this myself? Let me know. Okay, so here's what we ended up deciding. No matter which way we go about doing the clutch, we're going to have to get the parts for it, as they're cheaper, I guess, to order myself than it would be through any of the shops I contacted. So I went ahead and found on eBay the full LS7 clutch kit, which includes the flywheel, new flywheel, standard weight, new friction plate, new clutch basket, and the throwout bearing, the pilot bushing, and the slave cylinder. All brand new, all OEM quality. What I got here, this is all Luck branded, which is one of the OEM producers for GM. What I've ended up having here in two parts, I've got the flywheel right here, just standard flywheel, and then I've got in the other package is the friction plate, the clutch basket, the new slave cylinder, pilot bushing, and throwout bearing. I also went ahead and ordered from Tick Performance, well known in the Corvette community, a remote slave cylinder bleeder. As I observed in my slave cylinder, the fluid inside was pretty sludgy. It really wasn't fluid anymore, which probably was a part of my problem to begin with. The clutches, the slave cylinder is very hard to get to on those cars, so bleeding is very much a challenge. So with that new remote bleeder line, hopefully we can keep that fluid clear and have it last considerably longer. Like I said, let me know whether this is a job I should tackle on my own, or if you guys think I should just go ahead and spend the $1,000 and have somebody take care of it in a day or two. Open to either one. I have the parts and we're ready to go either way. As always, thank you for watching 4K Motoring. I'm Chris, and we certainly appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.